see a few new faces, a few familiar faces. I'm Kat. This practice is yours, as I was telling Anita, so do whatever feels good for your body. We're going to start off pretty slow and slowly increase a little just of the intensity, but it is all on your own pace, so take it as you will. So we'll begin in extended child's pose. So bring your toes to touch at the back of your mat. Spread your knees out as wide or as narrow as feels comfortable to you. And then slowly melt your upper body down on the ground, extending your arms above your head. Rest your forehead on the mat. And begin to ground down here. This is a gentle class, so nothing should feel too intense or hard or difficult. In this first few minutes of transition from whatever you were doing before to this current practice, take a few moments to recollect yourself and connect yourself to the practice. Take note of where your body meets your mat, your fingertips, your forehead, your shins, your toes. And begin to calm down your mind. Slow your heart rate down. Throughout class, we're going to be taking what we call ujjayi breaths, which means closing your mouth at the top and bottom of your breath. So you're just breathing through your nose to heat up your body. If at any time you get overheated, feel free to ditch that breath. And if any time my Zoom goes out or something, please message me. My Wi-Fi has been a little bit wonky this morning, and I apologize. From here, slowly begin to reach your hands to the top right corner of your mat to get a nice little side stretch here. You should feel this in your shoulders, maybe your obliques. Nice and gentle morning stretch. And slowly crawl your fingertips back to center and then towards the left top corner of your mat to get the opposite side stretch. Breathe into it. Crawl them back to center. Keeping everything but your arms where they are, meet your palms in a prayer position, touching palms at the back of your head. So your elbows are still on the ground, but your palms are touching at the back of your head. Maybe you feel a lovely tricep stretch here. Hold it and breathe. When you're ready, plant your palms back down and slowly rise up to have a seat at the top of your mat, crisscross applesauce. Bring your hands to your knees and take a closed eye here. So to begin our practice, we're going to do a little bit of breath work. And for this class, I would really love to do a 3-part breath series, meaning we're going to focus on 3 parts of our upper body: our lower belly, our middle belly, kind of where your ribs are, and our upper chest. So we're going to be directing our breath, our inhales and exhales, on these 3 parts of our body. So we're going to just do 3 seconds at each of these parts, inhaling and exhaling and holding for 4 at the top. So I'll guide us through it all together, and then we'll try it on our own. So keeping your eyes shut, make sure your shoulders are over your hips, your upper body is nice, relaxed. Relax your shoulders down, remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. We're going to start at the bottom with a nice deep inhale. So from your lower belly, inhale for 3, 2, 1, middle belly, 3, 2, 1, upper chest, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale from your chest for 4, 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Lower, 3, 2, 1. Hold it, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Lower inhale, 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Upper, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Lower, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. One more big round for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale at the bottom, 4, 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Upper, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. One big exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Preparing for the exhale at the top, 4, 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Lower, 3, 2, 1. Take one of these rounds on your own time right now, and I'll meet you at the bottom of your breath. Beautiful. You can open your eyes here, reacquaint yourself with your space, shake it out a little bit. And then we'll do a little bit of head rolling here. So from here, drop your chin to your chest, get a nice deep upper back stretch, and then drop your left ear to your left shoulder, and then tilt up looking at the ceiling, right ear to right shoulder, chin to chest. Take a few of these rotations again at your own pace. This is your practice. Maybe you stay in one position or another that feels extra good for your lower back or your neck. And when you're ready, meet me in a neutral position. And then let's go the opposite way. So we were going counterclockwise, and now begin to go clockwise. Taking note of what parts of your body need a little more attention. My upper back is always the thing that gets me first. And then find a neutral neck position. From here, we're going to do a few seated cat-cows. So let's begin by puffing up your chest, sticking your butt up behind you so you're creating a C with your lower back. Maybe look up, shoulders back, inhale. Exhale, round forward, shoulders front, look between your toes somewhere. You're creating a C with your abdomen here. Take a few of these rotations, bending and curling your back, your core, at your own pace. Just beginning to open up our chest, our shoulders, our spine. This is a slightly vinyasa-inspired practice, so when you can, match your breath toward your movement. I like to exhale at the cat when I round and inhale on the cow when I look up and bend. Beautiful. Find a neutral spine. Drop your right hand to the right side of your body on your mat. Lift your left arm up high and reach across to the right. Feel this in your left side obliques. Keep your elbow back in line with your ear. Breathing deeply. This is a side bend to the right. Breathe. Inhale back up to center. Both arms meet at the top. Exhale, left arm drops, right arm reaches. Feel this in your right side obliques. And breathe. Meet at the top on your next inhale. Mountain pose from the waist up. Exhale, goal post your arms out so your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Move your elbows further back so you open up into your chest and your shoulders a little more. This is pretty intense. We're gonna do a few of these rotations, goal posting up and then goal posting down. Bring your arms in line with your elbows in the bottom. Beautiful. Take a few of these on your own time, opening up your chest as fast or as slow as feels good to you today. Nice. You guys look so good. We're here for 4, 3. Drop your hands in 2. And 1, drop your hands down. We're gonna do a twist to the right. So slowly turn your shoulders to face the right. Your left hand grabs your right knee and your right arm goes behind your back, twist away. Keep your back nice and straight and erect. You don't want to lean back with your arm, but use your arm as a prop to sit up nice and tall and just twist from the waist up. Maybe you look behind you, breathing nice and deep. Can you twist a little deeper? Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. And then on one big movement, sweep your arms to the left this time. Left arm behind you. Use your right arm to push away from your knee. Breathing nice and deep. As we stay in stretching or twisting postures, after a few seconds, try to go a little deeper if you can. You become a lot more open with just a few seconds of stretching. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Find a basket grip behind your back. So clasp your hands behind your back and take one big inhale and puff up your chest. Hold it here. Maybe you look towards the ceiling or wherever you are. Feel this amazing chest opener. If you want a little more intensity, move your hands further back away from your body. Breathe. Slowly release the hand grip. Oh, that was a lot. Bring your right hand to the top of your left. I don't even know what this part is, like in between your shoulder and your neck. And give yourself a nice upper back massage here. Self-massage is actually an incredible way to reduce stress and other things like that. It just feels really wonderful. And then switch it out, left arm to right upper back. Nice big deep massage. And from here, we're going to take it to tabletop pose. So we're on our knees for the first time. So stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Create a flat spine with your upper back. And we're going to take a few cat cows here. So inhale, look up, curl your tail out. And exhale, round forward, look between your palms, puff out from your shoulders. Inhale up, exhale, round. Again, take these on your own time. Maybe stay in one posture that feels a little more juicy than the other. This is your own practice. So take what feels good. If you're having a little knee trouble, I recommend bringing a blanket to your practice so you can just set a blanket underneath your knees for a little less impact when we're on our knees. Beautiful. Find a neutral spine here. Bring your left hand to the center of your yoga mat and lift your right arm up so you're facing your right side wall. Keep your shoulder back as far as you can so it's in line with your left shoulder. Maybe take a few little arm rotations here, getting into that upper back, right shoulder, chest. This feels really good for me. Take a big, nice inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Slowly bring your right arm through the hole created by your left arm and your left knee, and come to slowly rest down onto that right shoulder. Whatever you do with your left hand is totally cool. You just want to make sure you're feeling this in your right shoulder. Nice. Slowly plant your left hand back to the center of your mat. Inhale, all unwind. So bring your right arm back up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your right arm to replace your left arm on the center of your mat. Inhaling up to the left arm up high. Hold it here for a few seconds. Maybe take little arm rotations. Do what feels good for your upper body. And breathe. Nice. Option to stay here always, or option to thread the needle by slowly bringing your left arm through the hole created by your right hand and knee. You want to make sure you're applying the right amount of pressure on your left shoulder so it's getting a beautiful stretch, but nothing too intense. Slowly plant your right hand back to the center of your mat. And on your next inhale, lift your left arm nice and high to reset. And then exhale back to tabletop, neutral arms, neutral spine. From here, we're moving on to downward facing dog. Plant your hands of 2 or 3 inches in front of you. Curl your toes under. From your high plank, you immediately want to go into downward facing dog by sending your hips up and back. Take a nice deep bend in both of your knees. Send your chest towards your thighs. This is a pretty intense posture, so take it nice and slow. I like to take my dog out for a walk, meaning sending one heel low and one heel high to really dig deep into each of my shins, my calves. Breathe here. Always option to ditch the Ujjayi breath when you're overheating. Open mouth breaths release heat. Closed mouth breaths retain and build heat. Nice. Find a neutral downward facing dog if you were doing something a little more mobile. And just hold it here for a few more seconds. This is your first downward facing dog of class, maybe of the day, maybe of the week. So be patient with yourself. I'm still very creaky. My ankles are cracking. From here, slowly look up towards your hands and walk your feet up to where your hands are, hips width apart. Take a generous bend in your knees, so generous that your chest can fall on top of your thighs, and grab for opposite elbows, releasing your neck down low for forward fold. If you're a little more loose in your hamstrings, you can begin to straighten your legs to whatever level feels good. Maybe you rock back and forth. This is also a really intense stretch. Breathing nice and deep. Wherever you are, release the neck muscles. Maybe you close your eyes and release the facial muscles. Switch out the grip so the opposite hand is on top. We like to add balance into our practice as often as possible. Nice. Slowly release your hands to your mat. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right ankle, preparing for a right side twist. Slowly move your right shoulder behind you, lifting your right arm up. Take a deep bend in your knees here to make this twist possible. Keep opening that shoulder. This is hard stuff. This is as less gentle yoga as we'll get, I promise. But it feels really good, so breathe into it. And then slowly bring that right arm back down, reset at the center, and then rock to the opposite side. Right arm catches left ankle, reaching your left arm nice and high. Beautiful. Can you bring that shoulder further back behind you? Nice. Slowly come back down to center. Relax your neck and take a small basket grip behind your lower head or your upper neck and slowly draw your neck in closer towards your knees for a beautiful upper back stretch. Nice. Release your hands back down to the mat. Toe heel your feet together so they're close to touching, if not touching. And on one big slow inhale, rise to stand one vertebrae at a time. Your head will rise last. How are we doing? I'm sweating. I guess that's a good thing. Let's rise up to mountain pose. Bring your arms above your head. Bring your shoulders down your back. Round your triceps in by bringing your pinkies to face one another. Engage your core so you're not tuck butting. Lift your thighs off of your knees. This is a powerful pose. Get nice and tall. Lift up your chin a little. Stand nice and proud. Inhale. Exhale, goal post your arms out like we did before. So hands in line with elbows, in line with shoulders. And take a few of the gold post rotations that we were practicing earlier by rising your hands up and then talking them down, up, down. Again, at your own pace, do what feels good to you to dig into your shoulders. Maybe you stay stagnant. All these mobility movements are completely optional. Nice. Just for 4, 3, release your hands down your back, and 2, and 1, release them down your back. Find that basket grip again, like we practiced earlier, and then puff up your chest, looking up. Maybe you send your hips forward by engaging your glutes. Do not dump into your upper back. Keep a small bend in your knees here. This is a really lovely but slightly intense back bend. So breathe into it. If you want more intensity, move your hands further back behind you. Nice. Slowly release the basket grip, come to a neutral stance. Lift your left arm nice and high and slowly bend to the right. So we're kind of repracticing what we learned as seated, but this time as standing. Breathe here. Can you reach even further? Move your left hip further out. Breathe. Inhale back up to center, reset your spine. Exhale, drop your left arm down, reach across with the right. Maybe you push your right hip out. This is a more intense oblique stretch. Nice. And then inhale back up to center. Mountain pose. Maybe catch a little back bend by slowly pushing your hips forward, looking towards the ceiling, chest up nice and high. Exhale, hands through heart center, and then forward fold all the way down, melting your chest against your thighs. From here, halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins or thighs, create a flat spine and hold it. So you're creating an L with your upper and lower bodies here, and you're using your arms as kind of a little tripod stand for your chest. This is a flat spine to just reset your body in between forward folding and mountain pose. So from here, slowly plant your hands back down on the mat, step back into high plank. Hold it here for just a few seconds, then drop your knees down, uncurl your toes, and then flip up into upward facing dog by bringing your chest through your hands. Option to take your knees and thighs off the ground for a little more intense upper body opener. Nice. You guys look so good. So this is a chaturanga. It goes from forward fold to upward facing dog, which is where we are now, and then downward facing dog. So let's head there by flipping your toes and slowly bringing your hips up and back. Nice. Bring your toes to the center of the mat to touch, big toes to touch. Inhale your right leg nice and high. Maybe catch a little hip opener here. And then exhale, slowly round forward, place that right foot in between your right hands and drop your left knee down, uncurling your left toes. Inhale, rise up to kneeling crescent. So again, we're in a mountain pose from the waist up. If you want a little more intensity, you can come off your knee and just do the full crescent pose, but I'm gonna stick with the kneeling crescent for now. So from here, your right leg is in a 90-degree posture. You push your left hip forward by kind of knotting your lower body together, nice and strong. If your left knee is struggling a little, place a blanket underneath it. There are so many beautiful options here. If your arms are tired from all those downward facing dogs, you can always bring your hands down by your side. There are so many amazing expressions. So I encourage you to take whatever feels good in your body today. I feel this deeply in my left side hip, Anita, because my hips are really tight. Uh, so sit even lower into the posture to get a more deep hip stretch if that feels good today. Nice. If your hands weren't up into a mountain pose, bring them there now and slowly drop your left arm down behind you and reach up looking towards the ceiling with your right hand. So this is like a kneeling exalted warrior, which gives us a little back bend, further hip opener on our left side body. Sit even deeper if you can and just breathe into it. Nice. From here, slowly tick-tock your arms down to the mat and begin to straighten out your right leg, lifting your right toes off of the ground for half splits. If you need a block, or again, your blankets, anything that makes this posture a little more accessible, the goal is to have a beautiful right hamstring stretch here. So you don't want to round forward. It's not about getting your chest towards your thigh. It's really about sitting up nice and tall and hinging from your hips so you get an amazing hamstring stretch. That's the only thing that's working right now. And breathe deeply. We're in our stretching part of the sequence, so we're going to take a little longer on each of these postures. And as I said before, as you get comfortable in a posture, you get a little more open, challenge yourself to sit a little more deeply into each one. I love half splits. Make sure your knee isn't super locked up. You want to keep it a little bent so you keep it nice and safe. Nice. From here, ditch a block or a blanket if you had one and slowly rebend into that right leg. Plant your left hand down right next to your right foot and reach up with your right arm for simple twists. So we're doing tons of twists in this class because I need a little bit of a spinal detox. Again, if you're looking for a little more of a challenge, you can always come off your back knee. Breathe here. Keep that right shoulder back behind you in line with the left. Can you sit a little more deeper here? If you're looking for a left thigh stretch and your left knee is very comfortable where it is, begin to bend into your left foot, left leg, and grab your left foot with your right hand behind you. If you have a strap, again, I wish we were in person so we have all these amazing additions, and the foot is not as accessible, you could always use a strap or a belt or something to grab that foot and bring it closer to you. Nice. Sit a little deeper. Connect back to your breath. From here, if you had the foot grip, drop it slowly. Bring your left foot back down to the ground. And then bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. So both of your hands are to the left of your right foot. And then toe heel your right foot closer to the top right edge of your mat. So you're creating an obtuse angle with your right leg. That's really important to keep your ankle in front of your knee just to make this nice and safe. Lizard's pose. So you should feel this in your hips and your maybe even in your hamstrings. The beautiful opener. Lizard's pose is probably my favorite pose to hold and stay in forever. Again, if you're looking for a more active version, you can always pop up off of that left knee. Maybe you take a little mobility movements here by rotating your right knee, left and right. Maybe take circles with your hips or just stay stagnant. Stability is also really challenging in its own regard. Nice. From here, a big transition that might be a little challenging, but let's try it together. Bring your right toes further back behind you, or sorry, further down so they're right next to your right hand. And then on one big motion, you're popping up off of your left leg into Malasana yogi squat at the top of your mat. Bring your elbows to the insides of your thighs, pressing them away to open up into those inner thighs using your hands to do so. So your hands are in prayer posture and you're using your elbows to sit up nice and tall. Again, if this is a little challenging, just place a block underneath your butt or anything that makes this a little bit more comfortable for you. You want to keep your back nice and straight. So you're engaging your core, looking forward, and just pressing open. This feels really good for folks who have hip issues, but challenging for folks who have knee issues. If this doesn't feel good, maybe try coming up here to a more relaxed seated squat. We're here for just a few seconds. Plant your palms down on the ground and then step back into your high to low plank. Maybe bringing your knees down. Flow through your upward facing dog, getting that beautiful back bend in, and then pressing back, exhaling into your downward facing dog. You're a little warmer here, so I hope you see how your downward facing dog feels a little bit more accessible, a little more comfortable now that we're moving through class. Nice. Let's take one big cleansing breath together. Inhale through your nose, get nice and strong and tall. Open mouth, exhale through your mouth, let it go. Nice. Think a little deeper. Bring your toes to touch at the center of your mat. Inhale your left leg high this time. Maybe take a little bit of a hip opener. And then exhale, round forward, place the left foot in between the hands, drop that right knee down, uncurl those toes, and then rise up to crescent, kneeling crescent. Again, we'll stay here for a few seconds, setting this up properly. 90-degree bend in your left leg, bump that right hip forward. Engage your core to sit up nice and tall. Option for a blanket underneath that right knee. Option to bring your hands down to your hips. Breathe. And just sit deeply here. This feels so good for my hips. I love this posture so much. If your hands weren't up and tall in mountain posture, bring them there. Drop your right arm down behind your right thigh and lift up your chest ever so slightly for kneeling exalted warrior. This helps open up our hip even more deeply, giving us a beautiful back bend. And breathe. This is hard to hold, I acknowledge that. It feels really good. Sit a little deeper, bending into that left knee a little more. And then slowly tick-tock your arms forward, straightening out that left leg, curling the left toes off the mat by flexing the left foot for half splits. Again, bring a block or anything you can use, a big book, to prop yourself up here as much as necessary. Square your hips so they're in line with each other, and you're folding from your hips rather than your chest. Your chest stands up tall, nice and proud here. Just enjoying this amazing hip stretch or hamstring stretch. In these quieter moments of class when we're holding a posture for a few or a little more than a few seconds, it's really lovely to try to clear your mind. And what does that mean? It's impossible to completely clear your mind for more than maybe 3 seconds at a time, at least for me. But when you notice a thought coming up, whether that's an observation or a judgment or what you're doing tomorrow, just watch it pass. You are an observer, but without judgment. When you're ready, slowly begin to bend into your left knee. Plant your right hand down so it's next to your left foot. Rise your left arm nice and high for a simple twist to the left. Beautiful. Right arm's down, left arm's up. Keep moving into that twist by bringing your left shoulder further back. Again, if this feels really comfortable, you want to add a challenge, come off of your right knee. If this feels really comfortable and you want a right thigh stretch, kick into that right leg, grab for that right foot behind you with your left arm. Again, a strap or a belt here is a beautiful option, or just stay in simple twist. This version is really, really challenging. Simple twist is well more than enough. Breathing. If you had the foot grip, slowly release the foot down. Bring your left arm nice and high. And slowly drop your left arm down to your mat in between your right hand and your left foot. Toe heel your left foot to the top left corner of your mat, preparing for lizard's pose, and slowly melt down here. Again, if you want a more active lizard's pose, pop up off of that right knee. If this feels even easier for you, you can come down onto your elbows for a little more of an intense stretch. But on my hands or even using a block is plenty challenging for right now. Slowly preparing for Malasana, plant your hands down if they weren't there already, straightening your arms. Bring your left toes a few inches back so they're in line with your left hand. And then pop up into Malasana, right foot meets left, kind of in this yogi squat. Bringing our hands to the center, getting nice and tall, pushing away from our elbows and our knees. Gosh, this feels really good. Again, option to come onto your block, option to take a little more tall version here. Just waking up our thighs. And then slowly plant your hands back to the mat, step back into your high plank, drop your knees, and do your chaturanga, your last one of class. So make it nice and strong, and meet me in downward facing dog when you're ready. Maybe you skip the upward facing dog, so many beautiful options. Bring your toes to touch at the center of your mat. Bring your right foot nice and high. Inhale. Exhale, pigeon's pose on the right. So drop your right knee behind your right wrist. Then work your right ankle up a little bit so it's in a kind of 45-degree angle. Your right leg is in a 45-degree angle. And slowly melt down into this posture using a block as a prop. Maybe you sit up nice and tall, or maybe you melt down to sleeping pigeon. Whatever feels good for you, you should feel this in your right glute. If this feels like a lot, I'm going to call something else for you to do right now. If this is too much, you can always come onto your back and take a lying figure four by crossing your right ankle over your left thigh and bringing your left thigh closer into your chest. So there's so many awesome options here. I like to stay in erect pigeon because I love the way it makes my left hip feel. A lot of yoga teachers will tell you the goal is to create a parallel line with your shin and your mat, and that's just not true. Most bodies do not work in that way. So a 45-degree angle with your right leg is really the goal, in my opinion. If you're feeling really comfortable here, same option for the simple twist by kicking into your left leg and grabbing for your left foot with your right hand. Again, this is really challenging for your left thigh. All of these are just simple recommendations for you. If you want to work more on your hips, on your glutes, stay in the neutral pigeon. And then let's slowly switch it out. Drop the hand to foot grip, bring your hands to your mat, and step back into three-legged dog, right legs high, and exhaling into downward facing dog with a neutral position. Step your feet together to touch. Inhale your left toes high this time. Exhale, pigeon pose on the left side. Bring your left knee down to meet your left wrist. And work your right ankle up forward as much as possible, probably somewhere around a 45-degree angle, and just relax into this posture. Same options here. Sleep your pigeon, stand up nice and tall. But just melt. There's a lot of emotions hidden in our hips. It's like one of the first things we learn in yoga school is that when you have tight hips, it's myself included, it's telling you need to stretch them out because that's where a lot of our emotions go and build up in various parts of our bodies, in our shoulders, wherever, lower back. It's just a natural part of life. Your week just builds and builds on your body. So it's so important to take 45 minutes a week, maybe, to let some of that go. Option to bend into your right knee and grab for that right foot behind you. Or option to stay exactly where you are. We're here for just a few more seconds. Nice. Slowly release the hand to foot grip. If you had it, plant your palms down, step back into three-legged dog, or just immediately go down into downward facing dog, your last down dog of class. Take a nice big inhale here all together. Get nice and tall, fill up. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. Have a seat on your knees and then on your butt. Crisscross applesauce. And then slowly transition down to have a long, big stretch on your mat. Just plop down. Feel the weight of your body pressing into your mat. Bring your feet, bend your knees, bring your feet behind your butt so you can tickle your heels with your hands. From here, we're going into bridge pose. So pop your hips up using your thighs and your glutes as strength to lift your hips up in line with your knees. Pretend there's a block in between your two thighs. So you're squeezing them together along with your glutes. Maybe you take a basket grip behind your butt, shimmy your shoulders behind you for even taller of a position. We're here for just a few seconds. Can you get even higher? And then slowly roll your body back down. Hug your knees into your chest using your arms to bring them closer. And then exhale, extend your right leg long, supine twist to the right. So use your right hand to guide your left knee to your right side body. The goal here isn't to bring your knee to your mat, but keep your left shoulder down on the ground and just use your right hand to stretch out your lower back. I love this posture. It often cracks my back. I do this every single night before bed. It's really beautiful. And slowly come back to center. Give your knees one big little hug here for a reset. And then extend your left leg long. Right knee crosses to your left side body using your left hand as guide, planting your right shoulder down on the ground. Twist a little deeper. And slowly come back to center. Bring your knees in close to your thighs. Wrap your arms around your shins and curl up into a tiny ball so your forehead meets your knees. Take one big inhale here. And then open up, exhale, let it go. Extend your legs and your arms nice and long. Close your eyes. You've made it. This is Shavasana, our last pose of class. I hope you feel a little lighter than what you were when you arrived to your mat. Wherever you are, give yourself a little bit of gratitude for dedicating 45 minutes to undoing a little bit of what the week has done to all of our bodies. And bask in the silence. I'll read you one poem before we go. I've read this to my class all of last year. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. No, whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Mary Oliver, of course. And with that, slowly bring some life into your fingers, into your toes. Maybe take a nice big stretch like you're waking up for the first time this morning. And hug your knees into your chest one more time, rocking and rolling so you can have a seat at the top of your mat, crisscross applesauce, hands to knees or thighs, again with either a light gaze or a shut eye. And try just one little sound of this Tibetan bowl that I just got. Beautiful. Bring your hands to heart center if they weren't there already. Bring your thumbs to your third eye center, the space between your eyebrows. Namaste means the light, the love, and the teacher in me honors and loves the light, the love, and the teacher in every one of you. We bow forward and we say, Namaste.